Hi, I'm Robert Osborne. Thanks so much for joining us on this St. Patrick's Day. And on this occasion of celebrating all things Irish, we have a pair of movies from a filmmaker who never shied away from calling attention to his own Irish heritage, that person being director John Ford. Our film is a very likable but little-known movie by Ford called The Rising of the Moon. It actually tells three separate stories, all set in Ireland, each segment introduced by another fellow with Irish ancestry, Tyrone Power. Why Tyrone Power, you ask? Well, a friendship had developed between Power and Ford 2 years earlier when they teamed up to make the movie The Long Grey Line, a biopic about an Irish immigrant who had a very long, distinguished career in the U.S. Army working at the West Point Academy. Well, that friendship between Ford and Power led to the director asking Power to become involved in this next film, which Ty Power did. Now, the first story he narrates is about a man whose friends rally around him when he gets into trouble with the law. Then comes a tale which takes us into the various lives of passengers on a train when they make an unscheduled stop at a station. Then finally there's a story about the lengths some people go to in order to save a man on death row. But when this movie came out in 1957, anthology films like this one were very popular. And the trend had started with a 1948 British movie called Quartet, which was made up of 4 Somerset Maugham short stories. Audiences loved Quartet, after which came a sequel called Trio, which had 3 more Maugham stories in it, at which point Hollywood began jumping on the bandwagon and making similar movies, linking several short stories together. Hollywood upping the status, though, of the films by casting big stars in them like Marilyn Monroe, Charles Laughton, Richard Widmark, and Anne Baxter. Well, 20th Century Fox did it with O. Henry's Full House. MGM did it with The Story of Three Loves, in which its 3 short stories featured such stars as Kirk Douglas, James Mason, Leslie Caron, and the beautiful dancer Maura Shear. Well, this next film by Ford has no stars in it, but it has wonderful Irish actors and also offered something the other films made up of short stories didn't have, and that's John Ford at the helm. So here's a St. Patrick's Day special, John Ford's The Rising of the Moon.